Khalil Rountree surprised us all just last night by giving Alex Pereira his biggest test so far at light heavyweight. And in today's video, we're going to talk about the UFC 307 main event and the major takeaways. So stick around to hear my thoughts. I'm Wyatt, and this is Fight Society. UFC 307 was just last night, and the most unexpected main event of the year took place, which was Alex Pereira versus Khalil Rountree. One of the major narratives going into this event was that Khalil Rountree did not deserve to be in a title fight against Alex Pereira. I even said in my prediction video that Pereira was going to KO him in the first 2 minutes. As we saw, Khalil Rountree did deserve to be in there. He went in there, he gave Alex Pereira his toughest test so far at light heavyweight, in my opinion. He won the first 2 rounds, in my opinion, and on all 3 judges' scorecards. Pereira went on to win the 3rd, and then 4th round KO, TKO for Alex Pereira, with hooks to the body, followed by an uppercut that dropped Khalil, where Mark Goddard stepped in and ended the fight. There's a few things to talk about. First off is Alex Pereira. It is now public information that Alex Pereira was dealing with multiple illnesses during fight camp, multiple injuries, and visa problems in the lead up to UFC 307. Many people were noticing the fact that he was coughing and breathing very labored in between rounds in the corner, and then he would actually address that and said that he had to go on antibiotics twice throughout camp due to illnesses, and that he only really had about 3 weeks of a proper training camp before this fight. Starting off with Alex Pereira, Alex did look somewhat human in that fight. The circumstances that he was dealing with leading up to this fight with Khalil Rountree definitely lend to the performance that he gave. I'd say that aside from the fact that he was struggling with distance with Khalil Rountree, he was kicking over Rountree's head, so the height was bothering him. Aside from the in-fight things, the actual lead up to the fight seems like it was very stressful and hard, and the weight makes the weight cut harder, all of that. Pereira still showed that even sick and at altitude, he can get a late round finish, which many people thought that Pereira would gas late rounds at altitude, given that he gets so many finishes in the first 2 rounds. But Pereira proved that he can, with a compromised gas tank, he can win a fight in the championship rounds, which was huge. Now, we move on to Khalil Rountree, and Khalil Rountree looked way better than I expected him to. I was expecting him to land a couple of good leg kicks in the early going to where people went, oh yeah, he might have something going here. That looked like Alex is limping a little bit. He ended up winning the first 2 rounds very decisively. To be fair, Alex was not pushing on the gas. To Khalil's credit, Alex was having a hard time with the range, and Khalil was landing, even though a lot of them were glancing blows and not landing incredibly solid. Until that one punch that sort of buckled Alex in the 2nd round, that many people are talking about Alex Pereira being dropped for the first time. He didn't get dropped. To me, that was more of like a getting knocked off balance, and he didn't even hit the ground. So Khalil Rountree looked much better than he did, and he proved that in a loss, you can still look amazing, and that you can still gain fans in a loss, which somebody like Mario Bautista could take notes from, because he actually lost fans in a win. So Alex Pereira versus Khalil Rountree, the first round involved a lot of Alex being patient while Khalil was blitzing in, landing shots. More of the same in the second, but you saw that Alex started to figure out the range. Alex got hit with a big punch after missing a head kick while he had his back turned to Khalil Rountree that buckled him. That was like a wake-up call for him, because he went and pressured Khalil the rest of the round, took that momentum into round 3, where he built up more momentum, and then in round 4 he ended up getting the finish with some absolutely incredible head movement, some of the best examples of a flow state that I've ever seen in MMA before. So Alex Pereira, what's next for him? There's a whole lot out there. There is Magomed Ankalaev. That's a possibility if he beats Alexander Rakic in 2 weeks or 3 weeks at UFC 308. We also have possibility of Alex Pereira going up to heavyweight to fight the winner of Jones and Stipe, or to fight Tom Aspinall. We'll have to see what happens at heavyweight before we know. But luckily, we will have time to figure this out, because John Jones and Stipe fight at UFC 309 next month. Alex has said that he is going to take an extended amount of time off, and how can you blame him? In 10.5 or 11 months, he has won the light heavyweight belt and defended it 3 times. So even though he doesn't take a lot of damage, multiple short notice fights or abbreviated fight camps where you're not getting 8 weeks or 10 weeks. For UFC 300, they booked that fight on about 6 weeks notice, and then he took UFC 303 on 2 weeks notice. And then 307 was on about 8 weeks notice, but given the circumstances where he was sick and injured during camp, it shows that Alex Pereira has won 3 straight title defenses in less than 6 months without a full training camp, which is insane. So I'll have to make some more videos this week where we talk about what's next for Pereira, fights to make after this. But as far as this main event, Khalil Rountree gained a bunch of fans from this fight, even though he lost. He showed that a loss is more valuable than a win at times. And Alex Pereira showed that he can deal with adversity where it's not all one-way traffic. He can lose 2 rounds and bounce back, which is a huge deal, given that he's going to be fighting somebody like Magomed Ankalaev that might heavily grapple him in the early part of the fight. Or if he fights a John Jones or a Tom Aspinall, there's always the possibility that Alex Pereira has a very rough start against somebody as big as that with a grappling background, to where Pereira would have to survive a round or 2 and then come back and win rounds late or get a late round finish. So I think that this fight, although it was against someone that many of us thought was not really deserving of this opportunity, Khalil proved that he was deserving of the opportunity. He'll have a big fight next, and Alex showed us that whatever he goes, whether that's Ankalaev, whether that's Jones or Aspinall, that he can withstand adversity and come back and win where it's not all one-way traffic. So there's my thoughts. Guys, Pereira's him. He's inhuman. Let me know your thoughts on the UFC 307 main event down below. Hey guys, thank you for watching this video. Make sure to like, subscribe, all that YouTube stuff. It really helps me out a lot. If you're interested in supporting the channel further, then become a channel member today for access to members only live streams, vlogs, and some other members perks. So click the link in the description down below or the join button on our channel homepage to become a member today. If you're interested in some non-MMA content from me, go check out my personal channel, Wyatt's World, and go check out my weekly comedy podcast, What's Up Bro, with Wyatt and Bo. Both of those are linked in the description down below. Go watch this suggested video, and we'll see you next time.